Hey, Mark, I had one of the weirdest, most awkward things. It's happened to me a few times after a show. And I was the feature, and I didn't bring any merch. I didn't really bring any business cards. I was just doing my show and then just getting out of there. And there was a guy who came up to me after the show, and he's like, "Hey, are you doing any other shows in town?" Which is a compliment, right? He wants to see more of my comedy. That's the idea.
Okay.
And I had literally nothing to give him. I didn't have any. I'm like, I can't point. And then I said, "Hey, you can follow me on Instagram." And he's like, "I don't do social media." I'm like, "Well, this might be the last time we've ever seen each other. I mean, this might be the last time we're ever in the same room. I'm all done, dude. Like, you can go to my
So
website."
hold on. When you say you didn't have anything to give them, you mean you had no dates in that area,
I
or you
had
mean you
no,
had?
yeah, I didn't have like a good date in that area. I had a few dates in that
I mean
area.
that's going to happen.
Yeah,
Y- do you do you have an email list or anything like that?
I don't have an email list.
So like what I would do
Yeah.
is I would get them to join my email list, and they'd get an
Okay.
email next time I have a show, like within 30 miles of his zip code.
Oh man,
Uh, so
your email
yeah, I
list.
can tell you off air, or we're starting a Patreon, I think.
Oh,
We're gonna tape a bonus episode later. I could go into a little more detail that the folks can $5 a month, I guess,
sure.
can log in for. We'll figure it out. There'll be tiers. We don't know what we're doing really.
Yeah, yeah.
This is episode 007, by the way,
Oh,
007. Yeah,
wow, that's
yeah.
exciting. I
Uh,
used to play that on the Nintendo 64.
GoldenEye.
GoldenEye
Yeah.
was the stuff, man.
Yeah, I once played that and had a dream about killing somebody with a gun and was like, I should maybe play less of this.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
It was very scary. And this was a long time ago. We've kind of normalized killing people with guns at this point. Not
yeah.
very funny, but back in the day, that was not as normal. It was
Did
kind of
you have
like
a dream of killing a person with a gun or
not a
a
specific person. It's just like, dreams, like you can't always
sure.
remember all the
Yeah,
details.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm not a gun guy, just to be
Sure.
clear. I mean, not that I care too much one way or the other direction. I don't own a
Yeah.
gun. I've never held a gun. So it was just
Wow.
very at a purpose. I mean, duck hunt. I've duck hunted and I've
Yeah.
golden eyed. Those
Yes.
are my gun experiences.
Yeah.
And
But
it is
my thought is was it a gun or was it a very poorly shaped polygon?
yeah,
Like, the
exactly.
graphics on 007 do not hold up. Like,
They were
not
amazing for the time.
they were amazing for the time, but they look like garbage. I mean, it is now you can look at it, you're like, this what were we doing back then? What's going on? You
Well, I mean,
a lot,
everything's.
yeah.
I will defend poor graphics. It's nostalgic. It's good. Have I mentioned laser discs recently?
Well, Laserdisc said you're saying that they have better audio and they're
Yeah,
like they're a
good
superior product.
sound, and the story's usually better. I just watched Con Air this week. Guess who
Oh,
was
that's
in
a
it?
good one. That's
David Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle's in it. Oh,
He
does
he
it say
plays
David?
pinball. He's credited as David Chappelle.
David Chappelle.
Yeah,
Wow.
he plays the character Pinball. He dies.
Oh,
Spoiler alert. Should have saved that for the Patreon, maybe.
that's right. Yeah.
He gets stuck in the airplane's landing gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I
So
mean, it's weird when a guy was like, "Hey, I want to see more of your comedy," and I'm like, "Well, sorry."
yeah, I mean, look, here's the reality. After most shows, if I'm headlining, people who are buying merch are
Yeah.
excited to see me again.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, I would tell them, "Oh, I can't wait to get back through here." Now I'm a little more realistic
Yeah.
because you don't know if you're going to be in Williston, North Dakota again
Yeah.
or Pocatello, Idaho. You don't know.
Well,
And
this was happening in Louisville, where that's the city where I own a house. So I'll be back in
oh,
town. But it was
so what? Well,
I felt
hmm.
weird because I have a couple of shows. I have like two shows next week in town, but they're both kind of rinky dink.
Yeah, I hear you. You wanted the right well, and you wanna save that for when you're
Yeah,
trying to move tickets.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly.
Uh,
I don't want you to come to the thing
do you have a
next week.
website?
I do have a website. Yeah, we talk about the website at the end of every episode. Big Jake
Okay,
Comedy.
yeah. There you go. BigJakeComedy.com.
Have I told you the story about my website?
No, but let me just throw
Okay.
in real quick. Are your tour dates on your website?
No.
That
No.
is something you should fix.
Yes, but okay. So I want to get your thoughts on it because
Okay.
there's a reason. It's not just laziness.
Okay.
It is I'm not headlining these things, and some of them are rinky dink. So
Well, you pick and choose what dates you put on
yeah,
your web. I mean, even big comics do that.
yes, well, sure. I mean, but I've seen some guys, and I feel like this is an Instagram thing. They'll take some sort of flattering photo, and then they'll be like way off to the side in the photo, and then they'll
Yeah.
have the list of tour dates next to it.
Yeah.
And
These are my September dates.
yes, and some of the guys are like,
They're
I
putting
look
up
them up.
open mics or something.
That's an open mic. That's an open mic. That's that's a guest spot.
Busted.
That's this one is like one of the shows I'm doing next week is like a comedy game show.
Okay.
But the reason I took it is because I have a corporate gig on Saturday, and that's going to pay well for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
And I basically have an empty 2 days. Thursday, Friday, I have a couple of empty days, so I can't sell that weekend anyway. So might as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a reason not to put dates up. I mean, even if you decide that you're only going to put up your headlining dates,
Yeah.
that's fine. And you could just tell the guy, hey, here's my website.
Yeah.
Just check on it once a month.
Yeah.
And I will be headlining in this area
Yeah.
in the next 6 months. Just
Yeah.
keep tabs, and I'd love to see you again. Come back.
Yeah.
The other thing that a lot of people don't realize is that for most comics, you're going to get pretty much the same show if you see them a few months later.
Well, I did. You won it with me because I was farting around pretty heavily yesterday.
That's good.
I had 2 bits that are really new and also a lot longer than my usual bit. I don't know. I mean, if you know off the top of your head, like my usual bits are right at a minute. And so I will write a set list. Like if I'm writing a 15-minute set list, I will write on a piece of paper, boom, 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 boom. I'll put numbers next to it, and it's like 13 or 14. Is like that's the amount of material. That's the amount of bits I'm going to do. But one of these bits is like 5 minutes, and one of the bits is like 3 minutes. And so I wrote my set list, and I did that, and my set list is weird looking because it's like I didn't look like I did nearly as not
right.
But I say all that to say, like, that's not necessarily my tried and true A stuff.
Sure, I get it. So if he came and saw you, he'd see a lot of unique material. That's
a lot of
perfect situation, Jake, to put some tour dates on your website and direct fans to them.
Yeah. But so I was going to tell you this story about my website. So I have, I'm lucky enough to have a name that is unique, right? My first name is Jake. That's easy. My last name's Hovis, 5 letters. And basically not a lot of people are named Hovis. And so I was able to get jakehovis.com. Very excited. And I paid for it, and I had it like auto renewed. And then I got this email. I got it through WordPress.
Okay.
And so I not only used WordPress to build the website, I bought the domain through WordPress.
Okay. Yeah.
And I got these emails from WordPress and saying, hey, your domain's about to expire. And then I checked it, and I'm like, I'm not set to expire for another 9 months. So that's just an errant email. Okay. Well, there was an error, and it was their fault, but they still sold my website, my name, out from under me. So they sold jakehovis.com out from under me, took it away from me,
that
gave
stinks.
it to somebody else, and and that person is not Jake Hovis. It's just somebody that buys websites that expire and try to sell, like kind of ransom note it back to you.
Yeah,
that's what they do. And so what I changed.
How much? Do you know? Have you actually had an interaction?
I haven't contacted them because I just changed my website to something easier. So Hovis is I think it's a very good name. It's not common enough to like, oh, I know how to spell that. on the top of my head. Now, if you sound
Right.
it out, you should be able to get it.
Yeah.
But I just did Big Jake Comedy.
Okay.
And so Big Jake Comedy is my new website, which has tour dates, or maybe it doesn't. I don't know. And
Depends when you're listening to this.
definitely has a contact me page on it.
Okay.
And you can contact me there. So anyway, that was weird. So there was a time when I was kind of like not sure about how I wanted to be brought on stage or how I wanted to be put on the marquee. Is it just Jake Hovis? Is it Big Jake Hovis? And then like this kind of sealed it. Right.
Okay.
My page is now Big Jake Comedy. That's my website. I'm going big or I'm going home, and I'm literally at home right now. So it's great.
And you don't find it that steps on any introductory jokes? If somebody's like, hey, coming to the stage right now, it's Big Jake.
No, I want them to be like, I like that.
Okay.
I don't think it steps on anything. It's like, I am objectively very big.
Okay.
I had a woman say this to me last weekend. This was a weird interaction. She came up to me and she said, and she said it like kind of like this heartfelt, like after school special, like kind of voice. You're more than just your size, but you are the biggest person I've ever met. Like, you can't say both of those. What?
Have you considered working a carnival, sir?
You can't say, oh, yeah. You're more than that. But, yeah, you really are.
I can't buy any merch, but would you like this Cheesecake Factory gift card?
That's right, Cheesecake Factory. Oh, my goodness. People just love giving me
Unreal. So, Jake, I went to Park City, Utah.
Yeah.
No relation to news events. Park City, Utah. And first thing, drove in. If the listeners are familiar with Park City, Utah, I went to the canyons I just was like trying to kill time. And it's amazing to me how ski towns can all look the same.
Yeah.
The canyons, I'm pretty sure the architects are the same as the people who built Snowmass, Colorado. It looks just like Snowmass. It's like an offshoot, like Snowmass is an offshoot of Aspen. Apparently the canyons is an offshoot of Park City. I don't really know the whole, I was in and out in 4 or 5 hours. Didn't spend a lot of time there, but it's just crazy how things look exactly the same. In fact, here's a fun little fact. Have you been to Steamboat?
Yes. My dogs are from Steamboat.
Okay, Steamboat Spring, the mini
docks. I had to go up to the Steamboat Springs, and I got my miniature dachshunds. They're mountain dogs.
To rescue them, obviously, from a moose attack. It was very brave of Jake.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
To get in there. And so anyway, this is a fun little thing. If you go to Breckenridge, Colorado, which you'll be close to there soon, for Mountain Fresh Comedy Festival, mfcomedy.com, everybody. Check it out. October 10 through 12, 2025. If you go there, there used to be a restaurant called Rasta Pasta. I don't think it's still there, but it might be. And it's in this, like, it's hard to call it a strip mall, but it's like a multi-level, multi-retail unit building. Okay.
Yeah.
It's very distinctive. It's kind of cool. In the center, it's got this like almost circular retail thing. And then it's got the steps up to the different levels. And then you go to Steamboat and they have the same exact building. It's different businesses, but it's the same color, same shape, same size. And so like they just like sold the plans one to the other and we're like, okay, that worked there. Let's just build it here. I mean, I guess you have the same thing with McDonald's all over the country. They look exactly the same. So it's not that crazy, but kind of funny. But anyways, Park City, and then you get to Park City, and Park City's like, it's pretty fancy. Let me say that right up top. It's like Telluride and Aspen had a wealthy baby.
Oh, wow.
Some kind of
Wait, you're saying it's a step up from Aspen?
Yeah.
Dude.
I mean, that's where Sundance Film Festival is.
Wow.
And it's big. I mean, maybe I'm talking out of school. I don't know. Somebody can fact check that Aspen comparison. But I've spent a fair amount of time in Aspen Just never been to Park City, which ironically, not a good place to park. Park City, pretty pretty challenging.
Yeah.
And so I did a whole lap. If anybody's been there, it's a one-way street that goes forever, the main street. And I couldn't find any spots. And I passed the venue, and then I found a spot, but it was too far from the venue. So I got to carry in my merch and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I did a lap, and then there was a spot right in front of the venue.
Nice.
And they had those like, text this number to pay to park sign. And I was kind of in a rush and kind of in my head. I mean, I should admit to this. I was kind of like, I'm just not going to do it. I'll be back here in 2.5 hours. It's a Friday night. Probably nobody's working.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you see these things and you're like, nobody is maintaining this for sure. It's just a corporation that's just leeching money for free. And but sure enough, once you know it, got out 3 hours later, ticket in my car.
Wow.
So I got busted, $50 ticket, which I'll tell you in the Patreon, Jake, exactly how much I got paid to headline this Don't Tell comedy show. In fact, I'm going to make a note right now that I have to disclose that information. If you guys want to know that information, you sign up for the Patreon. We're gonna you can get it at patreon.com.
Yeah.
You know when or where you're gonna get that. But we have like 3 weeks to figure that out because this episode won't come out for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Anyways, suffice to say that it was significant relative to my pay and merch sales that evening. So guess what I did yesterday morning?
Gave plasma.
No, I called. No, not called. I read the ticket. I was kind of upset about it. And so I just like hid it in my backpack.
Yeah.
And I found it yesterday. I was like, all right, it's time to deal with this. So I pulled it out, read the fine print. There's a section to contest the ticket or appeal the ticket.
Yeah.
And so I appealed the ticket online. They have an online form. I have a famous story that we'll have to do another time because we have so much to talk about today.
Sure.
But I got a parking ticket in Los Angeles. That one legitimately was not my fault. And it was exorbitant. And it took a long time, but I got out of it. It was incredible. I appealed it and it worked. So I was like, all right, I'm going to give this a shot. If nothing else, it will delay having to pay the $50 a little bit, kick the can down the road. Yeah. So I get on the website. I fill out the whole form, and then it asks me to log in to complete the appeal of the ticket. I'm like, what do I need an account to? I already gave you my license plate, my name, etc. They like matched it up to the ticket. I gave them the ticket number. So I got to log in. Well, obviously I can't log in. I've never logged into the Park City parking portal or whatever. So I got to create an account. So I go create an account. How many stupid accounts do we have to create, Jake? It's absurd. So I create an account and then get the password and something goes wrong. I forget what went wrong the first time, but then I was like, I forgot to enter my phone number or I skipped the phone number because it didn't say it was required, but then it was. And I put in the phone number that was on the parking ticket.
Nice.
To call with questions. So it submitted the second time, and then I'm back at the login, and I log in, and it won't let me in.
Huh.
So I'm like, all right, this could be an opening. This could be good. So I call that phone number.
Yeah.
And I say, hey, I'm trying to be a good guy here. I got this parking ticket. I'm trying to appeal it because I didn't see a sign. And I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to log in. It's making me log in, and I don't know how to log in. And they're like, all right, we're going to pass you off to Bertha. And so they passed me out to Bertha. Very nice. Not a real name, by the way.
Sure.
And so I'm explaining what's going on. And she's like, all right, let me take a look. Okay, I see your ticket here. And all right, I'm going to change it to a warning. It's your first time. And so you're all set. Have a nice day. And boom, Jake, boom. That's how you make money in comedy, baby.
That's it. Wow. Well, congratulations. That's a good feeling. Yeah.
$50. $50. All right. Let me ask you this about this Park City show. So it's a Don't Tell show.
Yeah.
Great venue, downstairs bar, stage for, if anybody's been to the Belly Up in Aspen, it was like kind of like Belly Up light, but really kind of fancy, nice stage, cool backdrop. Great, incredible sound.
Yeah.
Folding chairs for the customers, not ideal, but fine. And there's like 100 people there. It's great.
Oh, wow.
Not sat well. What a bummer.
Man.
And the only thing that's wrong is the front row has like 5 empty seats, and there's 100 people.
Yeah.
Like, just hide some of the rows of chairs originally. I
Yes.
think the problem there was that generally Don't Tell producers are really on top of things, but at this specific venue, the venue takes care of the chairs, which what a perk for the organizers.
Yeah.
So there was no like real oversight of the seating.
Yeah.
I've
seen Don't Tell producers in like a little hatchback with
yes,
like dozens and dozens of plastic.
I do that. I own 50, well, now 48. I don't know. I've lost one chair twice. I have no idea how, but I'm down to 48 chairs. If any comedians in Denver, the Denver area, ever need chairs, I got them. And when I put them in my car, I can't see anything, you know?
Yeah.
I think Nick Dean, Denver comedian, he removed the front passenger seat from his car.
Wow.
To get all the chairs. He used to run Don't Tell in Denver. I probably shouldn't say that because I think everybody listening to this is gonna be like, oh, I gotta hit that guy up for spots. He doesn't run it anymore, everybody. So calm down.
I was about to email him.
Okay, so show starts. We got a host. Host is terrific. There's like a volunteer guy. He brings on the host. That's good. That's good show running there. So the host doesn't have to go up cold. Lighting's great. Sound is great. Host is good. Some guy named Quinn, something Quinn. Very funny. Did wear shorts. I gave him a little guff about that, jokingly. And then he brings up another comedian who is super funny, Indian guy out of Salt Lake City, something Reddy, Raddy. If you check out my Twitter, his name's in there recently. And he's very funny. Although he did tell a long joke about pool being racist. It's very good. The structure was incredible. The idea is that you're using the white ball to knock in the colored balls, and then you got the stripes that are mixed race. And then if you get the 8 ball in, you win. And if the white ball goes in, you get to pull it back out.
Yeah.
And it's the kind of joke that's so good. It's like, that's been done before, right?
Yeah. That's got.
Have you ever heard that joke?
I've never heard that, but that.
Okay, like I have not Googled it yet, but I'm pretty confident that like Gary Goldman did that in the 90s, or somebody.
It's very reminiscent of like I've heard that from bowling. Like bowling is the opposite because it's the
I've heard that.
The black ball knocking these.
How progressive of the PBA.
Yeah, these 10 self-righteous whites just standing there doing nothing, and the black ball comes in. And
Anyways, this kid ruled. He was so funny, confident, 15 minutes. He was great. Yeah. And then another kid got up who was okay. Okay. You know, he's obviously newer to comedy. Not every joke, but almost every joke was race related. And this kid was whiter than I am. If you're listening to this, trust me, I'm very white.
Wow.
And so it was like,
whiter than you is like Conan O'Brien.
It's pretty white. Now keep in mind, it's Utah. We're all focused on Utah right now and how white it could be. It is that white. I saw it in person. We had 2 black people in the audience the whole show, and had a good time chatting with them. It was pretty close. A lady in front of them pointed at them at one point. I was like, all right, we got a Karen here pointing out black people. People went crazy. It was great. Yeah. So fun. Anyways, great show. This guy's kind of eating it because he's being too offensive. You know, it's like Kill Tony, Austin kind of stuff, but not super funny. You know, it's sometimes you can get away with that if it's super funny. It was uncomfortable. To the point when I got up on stage, I thanked that guy for I heard he was just leaving to go play pool in the street. So
it is.
So anyway, but this is what happened. So he's kind of eating it, and they do an intermission after it.
Oh no!
So I probably should have led with that, maybe give you guys that information. But this show had an intermission. I don't think I've ever done a show with an intermission before.
Yeah.
I've seen one. There used to be one in Denver that had an intermission, and I've had many venues ask me to do an intermission, but I've said no every single time. And I know it's common in England. What do you have you had any experience with intermissions?
Yeah, I've had some experiences. They're bad. They just wreck the momentum, and it's they always want to be like, hey, we'll be 10 minutes, and then it ends up being 25.
Yeah.
And so the people that are there for comedy are really frustrated, and the people that are there for drinking are really drunk.
Right.
it's
Yeah.
it's it's a little weird, but
So here we are. We get the intermission. This guy just tanked the show pretty much.
yeah.
People are streaming out. I go outside to leave. I see people like ordering Ubers. I'm like, I'm the headliner. I gotta go
Oh
on
my
still.
goodness. So wait, so the guy that bombs, and then they're like, okay, well that was bad comedy. So now
No, they didn't.
let's
Obviously, they didn't address
say
that.
that. But yeah,
Yeah.
but so just bad comedy just came on, and then the guy was like, okay, now let's take 10 minutes.
Yeah, there's gonna be more comedy later. Get
Yeah,
ready
yeah.
to laugh more. And they're
Uh,
like, we haven't laughed in 15 minutes
yeah.
or
So they
10
needed to
minutes.
switch those last two guys.
Yeah, exactly. That was kind of a bummer. But
I
then
have
to their credit, it was kind of a reasonable time frame.
yeah.
And they did start up the show. And when they started up the show, they brought the host up again. And
Okay.
he did like 5 minutes. And again, this Quinn kid, really good. That
Yeah.
was great what he did there. And he really kind of brought the energy back up. It was a feature, Adam Braun, super
Yeah.
funny out of Utah. And then I went up and headlined and had a great time.
Almost like they did two shows. It almost feels like they're just two shows back to
There
back.
were a lot of comedians. I only did 30 minutes.
Okay.
And was there anything else I wanted to say about Park City? Oh, yes. One final parting shot about Park City. I have had this experience. So Park City is a ski town. I run shows in Vail, which is a ski town. And I have a lot of headliners come through that don't sell merch at all, which
Yeah.
kind of surprises me. It's like you get to some level of success, and I'm not talking financial success. I'm talking like industry success. And they like are just, or maybe time. Once you're in 15, 20 years, you're like over lugging merch. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe, yeah.
But anyways, the ones who do bring merch, they tend not to do very well up in the ski towns.
Hmm.
I've always wondered about this. Is this because people there are rich and don't want knickknacks? They're older and they know they're just going to throw the thing away,
Yeah.
or they're tourists and they don't have much room in their luggage and they only want stuff that says Vail or Park City or whatever.
Yeah.
Because long story short, the night before, to a bunch of farmers, basically, I sold over $100 to less than 10 people, and then to 100 people in Park City with money falling out of their everything. I sold $30 in merch. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Zero books, only
Oh
stickers.
man,
Rough.
that's a bummer.
Rough. So anyways, that was Park City, Utah. Don't tell.
Yeah, it's interesting. You observed this bad comedian, this terrible should quit comedy comedian.
I wouldn't say. Just to be clear,
I-
he's just new.
I'm putting words in your mouth.
Okay, yes, you are. He's new. He's gonna get better.
Who is an abomination to this art form. Just this man who should be ashamed of himself, and his parents should be ashamed of him. This guy, right? And then they do, as soon as he stinks up the stage, irredeemably, then they do the intermission. It's interesting because I have a comedy producer in town, friend. There's a lot of shows. Most of his shows that he does are free, but with a tip jar.
Okay.
And he does the thing where he will only give out the tip. He'll push the tip jar. Well, I mean, at the end of the show, if he absolutely has to, but usually he'll put a good comedian kind of early.
Yeah.
That comedian will do well, and then now it's time for the tip jar.
Yeah, they're smart about it. They do that a lot in San Francisco, and I've seen it be very successful. Like people, you can make more money than on ticket sales sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think some people feel a little weird about it, but I'm like, bro, I always think about it like this is the the sandbox that you created. So if someone comes and just watches the comedy and doesn't buy anything and doesn't put anything in the tip jar, they're not cheap. That's just a normal person. I think that's just a normal person.
Yeah.
They may, they may not have it, or they may not want it, or they may not think this is good enough, or whatever it is. That you have allowed this. You should not like expect. I don't think you should expect everyone to tip unless it's like on the poster, or unless it's like super clear. Hey, we kind of expect you to tip, otherwise get out of here.
Yeah, and if you're gonna do that, you should say it in the beginning. And I've
Yes.
seen that. People are I mean, the shows that are run well, my big concern with a tip jar show
Yeah.
is, am I gonna get paid at all? And
Yes.
and, pay is not always the number one factor
No.
when talking about comedy
No.
spots. But if I'm going to a show and I hear there's a tip jar, it sometimes makes me nervous. Oh, I'm gonna make like $7. Like I've
Yeah.
had that happen
Sure.
before.
Yeah. I think every comedian has been there. But
Um, but I've seen shows that like, they have a great track record. There was one called Uncorked in Denver. It was at
mm,
Infinite Monkey Theorem, a winery that's since gone out of business, and the show no longer exists. But
wow.
Hannah Jones, who now headlines Comedy Works,
Yeah.
ran it for a long time, and she passed it off to Kelsey Rosen and put the fear of God, maybe that's a little much, but
Mm,
kind of told her, look, you really need to hustle for these tips. This
yeah.
is how the show works.
Yeah.
And Kelsey did. And every time I did that show, I got paid well. It was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
And
And
people were very generous.
I think that's great. I come I would rather somebody be in the show, laugh, have a good time, and if they have money or don't have money, if they want to give, don't want to give, if just be in the show and have fun, right? If that's the sandbox we have created. If there's a different sandbox and it's you have to pay $15 to come in and you have to buy a ticket, well, there's a different expectation. So I don't what I it feels a little bait and switchy to me. Like, hey, it's a free show, but you need to pay.
Yeah,
Like,
I
okay.
agree.
I think if we're saying it's a free show, then it really, really, really is a free show.
Yeah.
And if you pay, that's great. If you don't, that's great
I
too.
wonder,
You're here.
honestly, I wonder if it's easier now to collect tips than, let's say, 5 years ago.
Yeah,
Because everybody is so used to
yeah.
being asked to tip everywhere.
I
And I
hate.
think especially the younger generation
Yeah.
is into it. Are you tipping when you go to
I tip pretty much every time, and I hate it a lot of the time.
Yeah,
There's a place in Colorado, and I actually stopped going there because they asked me to tip. And I'm
really?
gonna I'm gonna describe it, right? It's a place called Gyros, with a Z, right?
Okay,
And it's off 225 and like Iliff, I think. Uh,
okay.
and they make gyros, and I'm a fan of gyros. I may or may not be mispronouncing this. It's fine. But you guys know what I'm talking about. It's
Yeah,
like the lamb meat inside the pita.
yeah, yeah, the
Uh,
Middle Eastern food.
yeah, super good.
Gyros, gyros,
And
gyros, something like
and they have a drive-through, and so I go through the drive-through, order my gyros, and then go through, and then then they put the little clipboard out the window, and it's like, do I want to tip on this?
unreal.
Like on the drive-through, we're tipping on the drive-through, and so I tipped, and then I never went back. Like,
Yeah,
I feel weird about like
I
drive-through tipping.
yeah.
Where's the line, Mark? I don't
I did
know.
a drive-through in Pocatello, Idaho, got a breakfast burrito.
Yeah.
Never had a breakfast burrito with more potatoes. This
Uh,
thing was but it was Idaho, right? So the potatoes are free, I think, in Idaho. And, it was like a Chipotle-sized breakfast burrito. It was
yeah,
insane.
yeah,
But they handed out the actual, like, terminal. It was a Clover terminal, and
yeah,
I was trying to, like, tap at it, and the lady was like, "You can grab it, like, bring it into the car. Take
yeah,
your time," you know? And
yeah,
I don't know. I gave a nominal tip, but
yeah.
I don't
I
know. It's
don't
okay.
drive-through tipping feels weird to me. Uh,
Yeah.
and it might be just a sign that I'm getting old. Um, I've done it, but I don't like it.
It might be a sign that you haven't worked in a drive-through.
I have never worked in a drive-through. I
Yeah.
have visited a drive-through more than once, but
None of the majors ask for tips, right? Like McDonald's, Burger
no,
King,
none of
Wendy's,
them ask for tips, and that's what.
Chipotle.
Then I'm like, hey, if I'm gonna need some quick food here, I'm just gonna go to KFC. Like they're
Yeah.
not gonna ask me for a tip. I like it. So it's like it's this weird thing where now it factors into my decision making.
I'm always pleasantly surprised when a place doesn't ask for a tip
Yeah.
now, which every once in a while that happens, and I'll go back.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope their employees are getting paid well.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
so after I had that breakfast burrito, I went on a hike, a very pretty hike in Pocatello, Idaho, and, on the way back into town from this hike, I saw a free apples sign.
Free apples.
Free apples, like hand painted, like a 6-year-old painted it, and 2 ladders and a tree.
Free apples and ladders. Wow.
And so I pulled over, walked into this person's yard,
Yeah.
stepped up a couple steps on a ladder, and there's a ton of apples to choose from, and took the gamble of my life.
Yeah.
Sounds like a new Snow White
Yes.
movie.
Did you eat it?
I ate it. It was pretty tasty.
I bet. I bet
I
it
mean, it
was.
wasn't, like, amazing. It wasn't like a
Oh,
gala
really?
apple,
I would
and it
imagine.
was kinda like, it was natural. It was
Yeah.
not pretty, but I was hungry after the hike,
Yeah.
and, it was nice.
I have never done that. That sounds absolutely delightful.
It was really it gave me some faith in
Yeah.
humanity.
I would want to. I mean, I'm glad that they're generous, but I like the idea of reaching onto a tree, grabbing something, and immediately putting it in my mouth, like just like one
Isn't that
motion,
fun?
grabbing it and
Yeah,
like.
I would like to own someday, like, a peach tree or a lemon
Mm,
tree or something I mean, I don't in Colorado, I think you can have an apple tree or a peach tree. I
yeah,
don't think the peaches in the Denver area would work very well, but if I ever moved to California or something, it'd be
yeah,
cool to have a lemon tree. Yeah, that's a neat idea. I think of that every year, around springtime. It'd be nice to grow some tomatoes and cucumbers and stuff like that, and then it's the end of the season, and I
yeah,
don't do it.
yeah. I might do an avocado. I'm a big.
Oh, that'd be can you imagine?
Oh yeah, that would pay
Except
for
they
itself.
probably all come ripe at the same time. What would you do with
Yeah.
30
Oh man,
ripe
like
avocados? You know what you do? You'd put up a sign that
you
said
put up a
free
sign that says
avocados.
free avocados.
You'd have a line around the block.
Yeah, that's right. It's exactly
Um,
what to do.
okay, I got a question for you. What are
Yeah.
you thinking about? Can you make it in comedy if you start in New York City? Controversial topic. We've discussed it many times. You have
Can
a
you
hot
make
take
it if
on it.
you start in New York City? Well, I mean, obviously, there's a sense where like, yeah, well, you can make it anywhere. I think you can probably make it anywhere, but my answer is going to be no. I know I just
Okay.
said yes, but
Counterpoint,
yeah,
Chris DiStefano
I
has a
don't.
Netflix special.
Yeah, started in New York.
Went to high school in New York, started in New York. Yeah.
Congratulations to
I
Chris Stefano.
I know there are gonna be other examples. I'll
There
be
are
able to
going to
come
be.
up with them.
Jerry Seinfeld's from Brooklyn. I'm pretty sure Eddie
Oh,
Murphy.
Jerry Seinfeld's a great example. Of course he came up in New York.
Yeah,
Famously came up in New
I
York.
think Eddie Murphy is also. He might not be from Brooklyn, but I know he's from the New York area because,
Yeah.
like, famously, they started comedy on the same week. Like they were on the same show,
Really?
basically on the same week. Jerry's a little bit older, but
Huh.
because I think Eddie Murphy started when he was like 19 or something like that, or maybe
Okay.
younger.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We're talking about now. I'm talking about nowadays. I'm talking about 2025. Can you get good enough to make it just in New York City using the open mic system that they currently have?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Now,
No,
if
I think you're wrong,
I
but
think if the open mic system can feed itself into showcases and feed itself into, other like one nighters and other things where you can actually do some time,
yeah.
then yes. But if
Oh,
you are only doing open mics, and you are, you're paying, $14 to do 5 minutes to
is
three.
that what you paid?
I paid
14 bucks?
$14. So it was like seven
Because
ninety
you
nine,
got a drink or something?
and you have to. Like
Okay.
I
Yeah,
got a
yeah.
drink and I was
Yeah,
forced.
see, the thing is, you figure out where to go that's
Yeah.
free, I think,
Yes.
or doesn't cost $5, and,
Yes.
like, I just thought of another example, Jake Velasquez,
Yeah.
Who's out of New York City, and was probably still is Jordan Jensen's opener.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've seen him at Comedy Works. I mean,
Well,
he's
then you're talking about how quickly do these New York guys leave New York to actually do comedy?
well, he still lives in New York.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But like, he's not doing sets at at the comedy club in New York every single night or whatever. And
I think he is when he's in the city.
when it was in the city,
And then, like, Chris DiStefano is passed at the Cellar. If you
yep,
go to the Cellar, you
yep,
can see him there. And
yep,
when he's in town and not touring, I think he's
yep.
up. I don't know. I think we'll keep talking about it. You think we'll
I
ever
think
have a
I
guest?
yeah, yeah. Have a guess. I think the thing that will get you good at stand up as quickly as possible is quality stage time. And I think quality stage time for an amateur is much, much easier to get in a place like Louisville or Cincinnati or Indianapolis than it is in New York City. I think
Yeah.
quality stage time. Now,
Yeah.
you can stand on stage
Yeah.
more in New York City. I also think quality paid shows early in your career are much easier to get in places like Louisville and Cincinnati and Indianapolis. But um, will you make those connections? It's also, and this might be a teaser. Here's a little teaser for the Patreon bonus episode, because in the movie, basically Joe List said this. He said New York City is the
Wait,
same.
we gotta let people know what we're talking about.
Oh, okay,
This,
yeah, go for it.
the last episode, maybe not everybody listens to every episode. We talked. Joe List has a movie out called Portrait of a Comedian, and we said that we would watch it week over week, and we talk about it in the next episode. And in today's Patreon, we're going to go deep into that. And I guess Jake's going to give a little teaser here.
Yes. Well, just one little thing that Joe List said in this movie was that New York City is like every other city. It's got the same ratio of bad comedians to good comedians, and we kind of said that same thing in the previous weeks. Is the New York City comedians that I saw with my eyes, some of them were just as bad as they are in Louisville, and some of them are just as good as they are in Louisville. But if the pool is bigger, right? If there's, instead of being 100 comedians, there's 10,000 comedians. Well, then there's going to be a lot more good ones and a lot more bad ones, right? That's the idea. Yeah. But he says he's saying the ratio is the exact same, and to that I'm like, yep, I totally get it. That I believe.
Interesting. Yeah, we're gonna have a good chat about the movie. I have a ton of thoughts about it.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to hear your thoughts.
Yeah.
Here's something new for me.
Yeah.
I am planning a tour in Minnesota in January. I think I've mentioned this before.
Wow.
I know, cold, right?
Cold. Yeah, it sounds very cold. Yeah.
Worst place, worst time. It's not even like big city Minnesota, northern Minnesota. It gets worse.
That's a fine, I applaud your moxie, but you're talking as a guy who sleeps in his car all the time.
Well, this is going to be I got to fly in for this one.
Oh, okay.
We'll rent a car. It'll be a feature.
You're already making me feel better.
Yeah. But the interesting thing is, this is kind of exciting. So the Anchor gig is a booked gig I've done many years. It's basically like a small comedy club. I'm doing a couple of shows there over a weekend, and looking forward to that. The trick to this whole thing is it doesn't really pay enough to like fly in, rent a car, etc. It does come with some lodging, but it wouldn't really be worth it without some add-ons. But you got to find your own add-ons. That's half my job, is finding add-ons to these national runs. So the obvious thing would be in the Twin Cities, like St. Paul, Minneapolis. The problem there is those shows, they might pay $25, if anything at all. Like sometimes big city shows don't pay super well. So in the past, I worked with a great national booker, or a great local booker who put on shows in like rural areas.
Yeah.
And he would get me these shows. And so I hit him up again. And he's like, oh, I moved to Florida. I'm not around anymore. And so with his permission, the best show we ever did over several years was at a brewery, and I
Yeah.
said, "Can I contact that brewery?" And he said, "Yes." And then I contacted that brewery, and they ignored me. And then I called that brewery, and they ignored me. And I used the website contact form, and they ignored me. And I
Yeah.
went back to him, and I said, "Could you help me get in touch with this brewery?"
Yeah.
And he got me in touch with the brewery. That somebody finally got back to me, and it looks like I'm going to be running my own show there, which is
Wow.
a whole different level.
Yeah.
If you know, mostly monetarily. If I'm keeping the door and selling the tickets, and I got to pay comics and I got to deal with a bunch of headaches, which is the whole point of the story. I'm going to tell you about one big headache.
Yep.
This is going to change from a like stage time opportunity trip to, oh, I can make some real income on this trip.
Yeah.
The headache is they may or may not, they have a stage in this side room. They did not have lights when I did it 2 years ago, but they may have lights now, and they for sure do not have sound.
Oh my goodness.
So I, for the first time ever, am considering flying equipment
What?
across the country. So I ran into this. There's this. We can talk about this more on another episode. But there's kind of a fascinating comedian who does like 150 shows a year. He flies all his equipment. I knew his opener for this year. I know, and I went and did a guest spot when
Yeah.
it came through Denver, and I was like looking at how they set everything up and how they did this. It's pretty wild what he's up to. But basically, do you know what Pelican cases are?
Yeah. I've seen those. Yep.
Yeah, so he's got these Pelican cases. For anybody who doesn't know, they're like military grade
Yeah.
trade show cargo container things that you can fly with. And apparently it doesn't matter how big they are as long as they don't weigh more than 70 pounds. So I have status on United and I can fly 2 bags for free up to 70 pounds. And so I think I'm going to end up buying one or two of these Pelican cases. And I got these foam inserts and I'm going to fit the speakers and the poles and the lights and everything and organize it. And Jake, I'm telling you, if I can make this work in January in Minnesota,
Yes.
it's like the gloves are off, baby. I can go anywhere in the country.
Anywhere.
And as long as there's an airport nearby,
Yep.
I can for sure make enough money selling tickets to rent a car and pay for a plane ticket if I had all the equipment. So I got to make a pretty big investment in these Pelican cases.
Yeah.
It is a long way to say, if any listeners out there have a Pelican case they're not using, it's like 4 to 5 feet long.
Yeah.
And it's got to have wheels. It's got to have wheels. And
You're gonna try to bring obviously a PA system and microphones, right?
Yeah.
But
and
also
cables and cameras.
cables. You're trying to bring
Cables with a C.
Cables. Oh, cables.
Yeah.
Cables and
But
cameras.
there's a lot of cables because when I do my 3-week tour around the Pacific Northwest, I usually will record it with multiple cameras and multiple microphones, like audience and soundboard and stuff.
Yeah.
And the bag I have with all the cables for that stuff is pretty substantial.
Wow. Okay.
You think like a very simple setup would just be one mic, one XLR cable to a speaker.
Yeah.
But if you're adding in recording equipment, there's a lot of cabling going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. That's fun. Well, last time or one of the times before, you helped me with a joke that I had trouble saying.
The degenerate gambler?
Degenerate gambler.
Yeah. How'd the new stuff? What did I say? I said,
you said, I have it written down. I haven't tried it. I haven't had a chance.
Deadbeat gambler.
Deadbeat gambler.
And unlucky gambler.
Deadbeat gambler. I think is my favorite of the two. And so I'm planning on trying that tonight. But the question is, I have another joke that is sometimes crushes. So I did World Series of Comedy, one of the satellite events in one night stands in Michigan. Very fun club. I didn't win the whole thing, but I came in the top 3, and I could care less about winning because as soon as I walked off stage before they announced the winner, the booker came up to me like, "Hey, here's a weekend."
Heck yeah!
That's all I wanted.
That's awesome.
That was what I wanted. So anyway, this joke crushed there, and Joe from World Series of Comedies is like, "That's an amazing joke. Oh my goodness, you need to build merch around that joke." And I've done that joke, and it has been one of these 100% of 100% of the room is dying laughing, and then it's also been a 20% that get it and understand it, and I feel like people are just not getting it quick enough. So
Okay.
my question is, do I need to reorder it, or um, switch up the words a little bit, or whatever?
Yeah. So I've been accused not just once of being too smart
Yeah,
for my audience
yeah.
and my jokes being. Nobody's ever accused me of being too smart, but my
I was
jokes
about to
being
say,
too
yeah, yeah,
smart.
that makes sense.
So uh, sometimes when I have thinkers like that, I really learned to appreciate tags.
Yeah,
And because what happens is if you tell a joke and somebody in the audience doesn't get it, but they
yes.
see everybody else laughing, they're gonna laugh
Ah,
anyways because they don't wanna
okay.
look dumb. But then if there's a tag that re-emphasizes it,
Yeah.
you can like, I can feel it on certain jokes. Another 10% of the audience got it with the second tag. They just needed a little hint, a little nudge. And then if there's a second tag, I can feel it again. Oh, 15% more are now on
Ah,
board.
okay.
So I think that's really I it's not intuitive to me. It feels like it's like cheap to
Yes.
like really spell out the joke.
Really spell it out. Yeah.
But that's what tags are. And the more I do comedy, the more I realize dumb comedy wins.
Oh, wow. That should
Hot
be on a
take.
t-shirt. That should be on a t-shirt, right? Dumb comedy wins.
I
Yeah.
mean, it really does. I mean, I guess it
Yeah.
kind of depends. You got to know your audience.
Yeah.
And I work a lot of places with pretty sophisticated audiences, and that
Yeah.
might have skewed me towards smarter comedy, but keep it simple. All right. So are you going to share the joke or are
Oh,
you
yeah,
going to
yeah,
keep
I'll
it?
do the joke.
Okay.
So, I say, that, Crocs don't come in my size. I wear a size 18. I know I should be blurry and live in the woods. That's the joke, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
18 is a very, very big number for a shoe size. That's the joke, right?
Yeah.
I'm doing a Bigfoot joke.
That's the end of the joke, right? No more tags.
There's
This is
more. There's more to it, but
okay.
that's the
But
end of
this
that
is
part.
a perfect example
Yeah,
for more. This is exactly what I was talking about.
yeah, yeah,
Like it's obvious to me right away. You're talking about Sasquatch or
yeah,
Bigfoot or
yeah,
whatever. And there are all these different reasons that people laugh.
yeah.
And one of them is it's
Ooh,
like when you solve a puzzle in your head.
yes,
Do you know
yes,
what that word is that I'm grasping for?
yes. No, I don't.
Maybe starts with an R. It's
Onomatopoeia.
like,
Uh,
no, recognition. A
okay.
recognition laughter is when
Yes,
I would find that funny because, oh, he's
yeah,
saying Bigfoot without saying Bigfoot. I
that's right.
recognize it. So this is a
Yes.
great example of where tags are gonna help. If
Okay.
right after that you said, "You can call me Sasquatch,"
Yeah.
that's gonna be funny on so many levels. First off, Sasquatch is a funny word. It's kinda got a hard K.
Yes.
Some of the audience is suddenly gonna realize, "Oh, he's comparing himself to Bigfoot." So they're gonna laugh. The people who are already laughing, who figured out that you're Bigfoot, they're
Yeah.
gonna laugh as well because you said Sasquatch. And so ideally, Sasquatch would be the second one, and the first tag would be a little more obscure. Like, what's
Yeah.
something we know? You already said blurry.
Yes. I said
Okay, so
blurry.
what else do we know about? I mean, Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
got mythical creature, Loch Ness,
Yeah. Yeah.
Bigfoot. There's a museum somewhere.
Yeah.
Are there any other? Do you
Oh,
know any other?
you could say, I know I should be hunted on the Discovery Channel, right? There's like
I
the
mean,
Discovery Channel, like searching for Bigfoot or
yeah,
hunting Bigfoot.
maybe. Who say the joke one more time. I'm wondering if you can remove something and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
use it as a tag.
yeah. I think the blurry part, I but maybe could. So I say I wear a size 18, which I know I should be blurry and live in the woods. Uh,
You know, you kind of need both of those. Um, you can call me Sasquatch.
yeah,
Oh, maybe I have a future selling beef jerky.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think that could be the next one, and then Sasquatch could be the last one, where you're pretty much spelling it out for
Yes.
the audience. I like the
Yes.
beef jerky,
Yeah.
right? What's that stuff called?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Jack Link's. Yeah.
Okay.
Jack Link's beef jerky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Finding Bigfoot is it's got 12 seasons,
Oh
and
my
it's
gosh.
Finding Bigfoot 12 seasons on on Animal Planet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Um, okay. Well, I'm going to ask you for
Yeah.
some joke writing help.
That's an interesting thought. I'm gonna try some of that tonight.
I
Uh,
love it. Tell us next week
yeah, and see
how it
how
went.
it goes.
Um, I have, okay. I have a gig coming up
Yeah.
for raccoons. They rehabilitate wild raccoons, and it's a fundraiser. It's like $1,000 a table.
So
People go to my website.
are the raccoons like on drugs or alcohol? The rehabilitation.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm writing that down right now. I didn't even thought of that. Rehab for raccoons.
Oh, it's like
Um,
they have to go through it 2 or 3 times. The first one's just practice.
yeah,
Get
the
that
Betty
rehab
Ford
right away.
Clinic for raccoons.
Yeah. They
Yes,
name
and
them all.
where do I get said drugs and alcohol? Where
They
do I
name
get?
all the raccoons like Lindsay Lohan, Robert Downey Jr.
This is perfect. All right, so I'm gonna read you some raccoon facts, and we're gonna spitball some jokes about it. Okay.
Raccoon facts. There we go.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Uh, this is like the premise or the setup, if you will.
Yep.
Raccoons are opportunistic eaters.
Mm.
Nuts, berries, fruits, acorns, uh, and of course, they'll dig through trash cans.
Mm.
What do we think about?
Yeah. Opportunistic eaters. That's interesting.
I think there's a rule of three joke in there where they're like, they'll eat legumes, they'll eat
Yeah.
nuts, or anything you can find in a trash can.
Yeah. Yeah. I
It's
like
like
that.
they're healthy, because they're omnivores. They'll
Yeah.
eat anything.
Yeah.
Moldy pizza.
You could say something that they wouldn't eat. I mean, they'll eat acorns and berries and anything in the trash. But but they won't eat vegan bacon, or they won't eat
Tofurkey.
tofurkey. Yeah, they won't eat um, something that they won't eat.
Something super healthy.
Something super healthy. Yeah, they won't eat tofu.
Broccoli.
Broccoli. Yeah, I mean they draw the line at broccoli. Yeah, no, they're
Oh, yeah. That's good. That's good. Okay, ready? Number 2.
yeah.
Raccoons wash their food before they eat it,
Mm,
and not for the reason you're thinking, Jake. Raccoons don't see very well, and they wet their paws because
okay.
it helps them. They're not trying to clean the food, but they get the food wet, and it helps them feel and identify the food when their paws are wet. Which
Okay.
I think is why I always see the Hamburglar dipping his fingers in the McNugget sauce.
There we go.
Is that a good one? I think that's a good one.
It's funny. It's like they don't necessarily. I mean, to me, it sounds like they're not washing their food. They're washing their hands before they eat. Right? They are like first century Jews. I mean, there's a famous when Jesus turns the water into wine. That story is about hand washing at the beginning of it. That's where he gets the
Huh.
water. Um, it's interesting, or like a germaphobe. They're like Howie Mandel, right?
Yes. Yes, that's good. Procyon lotor is the Latin name for raccoon, and it
Yeah,
means the washerman.
the washer man,
Yeah, how about
because they
that?
because they have wet hands when they're
They
doing
have
this.
sensitive nerves on the fingers of their front paws. When they forage for food and water, they feel around with their paws to gather sensory information.
That's funny. You keep saying paws, but I picture little raccoon hands. I mean, I guess they are paws, but they have very hand-like paws.
Well, you're going to hear more about the paws in a second, and the hands and the feet. Raccoons live nearly anywhere, but only in North America. This
Oh wow!
really surprised me. They're in Canada, America, and Mexico.
but
not
they're
elsewhere.
interesting.
You don't see there are no Parisian raccoons, I guess.
That's interesting. There are like I mean, you think about continents having unique animals. You think about kangaroos in Australia,
Pandas,
yeah, but you don't think about
raccoons. I guess
raccoons.
they get down to Central America as well.
So wait, hold on. I bet like foreigners come here, Australians or Britons or Russians or whatever come here and be like, "That's a raccoon! Oh my goodness, they really exist."
Yeah, that is funny to think about.
Yeah,
To go to like an inner city to look around the trash cans.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. They're trying to find a raccoon. Like, no, 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 they're real, man. They're real.
That's great. That's great. I was thinking maybe a joke about, and there were more in America, but the immigration rules have gotten stricter recently. Uh, all right. Their masks are anti-glare devices.
Oh. So it's
Uh,
like they're less wearing masks and more wearing like eye black than
like,
like a
yeah, like an athlete.
like an athlete. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, when I said Hamburglar, did you quickly associate that with a raccoon because he has stripes and a mask?
Yeah, not quickly, but I do now.
Okay, you do now. Interesting. All right.
Hamburger. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, they're smart. Raccoons can be as smart as a small child.
Ooh, how small of a child?
Good question.
Like some children are really smart. They're just short, and some are just like 3 days old, and then you're like, okay, well, that's not a very smart kid.
Huh. They did a test. Have you heard of the marshmallow test?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So famous study. We can talk about it another time. I think it's fascinating. But they did a different marshmallow test with these raccoons where they put a marshmallow on top of water in a cylinder, but they couldn't reach the marshmallow.
Yeah.
But there were some pebbles nearby. And the raccoons quickly realized if they dropped the pebbles in the water level would raise and they could reach the marshmallow.
That's smart. That's a smart raccoon.
Very smart. Very smart. All right, they are very handy. Here comes your paw stuff.
Yeah.
Raccoons have 5 toes on their front and back paws. Their forepaws are particularly dexterous and actually look and work like human hands.
Yeah.
Uh,
They look very hand-like.
is this going to be somewhere else in this? This is a different list than the one I read the other day. Turns out their rear paws can turn 180 degrees. Their back feet.
What?
And it helps them, I think, go down, like climb down steep surfaces.
Yeah. Okay. Here's their front paws look a lot like a human hand, especially if they have a watch.
They're solitary animals. You don't hear that. Like, you don't hear lone raccoon very often.
Yeah.
Lone wolf really has taken that over.
And wolves have packs. Like that's the whole thing is like a wolf pack, and
Interesting. Yes.
we have like a lone raccoon. Well, I mean, burglars tend to work alone.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah. They have few threats.
yeah,
Apparently nobody's hunting them for their fur.
yeah. They used to hunt them for their hats. They used to make hats out of them.
Oh yeah, I guess
Dan-
so.
Daniel Boone style.
Yeah.
But I think they work. I think they hang out alone just because they don't want a lot of loose lips in their criminal organization.
Yes.
Like
The other thing about their hands, I don't see this here, but the other thing I was reading, they can open jars and turn doorknobs.
wow.
Yeah. They have a lot of babies.
Mm.
They breed only once per year, but a female will give birth to 3 or 4 babies on average. They carry diseases and parasites. This is really bad PR for these raccoons, but rabies, obviously. Do they not have rabies in other countries? Like, what's carrying rabies?
I mean, I don't even know. Rats? I don't know. Are we more of a? Are our rabies mostly coming from raccoons?
I think they're pretty common. You get bit by a raccoon, you gotta go get a rabies shot for sure.
Yeah.
What's more, Banicula is the only other one I could think of that you'd be worried about.
Yeah.
That's an obscure child's literary reference for everybody out there. Oh, you Banicula, you never read that one? Oh, so good. I was a kid. It was a vampire bunny.
Wow.
Banicula. Great book. Incredible book. And that's a good way to wrap this episode up, I think.
with an obscure bunny that.
Oh, here we go. Let me give you 2 more possible raccoon jokes real quick.
Okay.
Raccoons have great night vision,
Yeah.
but poor day vision. Guess they need better sunglasses. All right. Raccoons are very vocal, purring, hissing, moaning. You get a den of raccoons, it sounds like the Olympic Village.
Oh my goodness.
All right, I think that was a genuine laugh there.
Yeah,
All right.
no, Olympic Village, that's a good one, right?
We'll go out on that one. Even got a hard K in it. All right, everybody. Markmasters.co if you're looking to book a comedian who can now apparently fly with lights and speakers, if possible. And check out Mountain Fresh Comedy Festival, mfcomedy.com, cool mountain towns, great comedy. October every year, hopefully. But this year, October 10th through 12th, including a special screening for free at Highside Brewing in Frisco, Colorado of Anxiety Club, which stars Joe List, Mark Normand, Mark Maron, all kinds of incredible comedians talking about mental health. And if you want to learn more about Joe List's latest movie, Portrait of a Comedian, you can hear our review of it in the Patreon episode, which we are about to tape, and talk about how much I got paid at that Don't Tell show. All kinds of fun stuff in the Patreon episodes.
Yeah. If you want to book me for any raccoon related events as well, you can go to bigjakecomedy.com.
Amazing. All right. We'll see you next time, everybody.